Hi, this is Jim Kennard, and today we're going to talk about seedling production. In the new Mittleider Gardening course book, chapter 22 or lesson 22 specifically talks about seedling production, and even though most people don't realize it, you can be doing this almost any time of the year, because with the Mittleider system you can grow 2 or 3 crops a year quite easily. And if you have an in-the-garden greenhouse or a protected greenhouse, you might be planting when other people are giving up on their gardens. All a part of preparedness and being able to actually live out of your garden. So, seedling production, how does it start? Well, what we want to do is we want to prepare what we call a seedling flat. And this is made, talks about it in lesson 22 in the book. It's 18 inches square, 2 3/4 inches deep. It has wide openings between those slats to allow for proper drainage. Now, if you're reusing flats like I'm using here, you want to make certain that they are clean before you use them. First of all, you take a stiff brush and you scrub out any residual soil that's in there from the last growing season. Then you take bleach and water, a cup and a half of bleach to a gallon of water, and you dip your scrubbing brush in that, scrub out that flat very thoroughly, and then let it dry before you put your soil in it. So let's talk about how we prepare the soil. What we've got here is sawdust, sand, and perlite. And a mix percentage that I like is 4 parts sawdust, 2 parts sand, 1 part perlite. So I've got a couple of 5-gallon buckets here. I will put 5 gallons of sawdust. Don't breathe it. I will add another 5 gallons of sawdust, but for the moment I'm going to put some sand in. We'll end up with 5 gallons of sand. Another 5 gallons of sawdust. And now we'll add the rest of the sand. I don't put the sand at the bottom because sand is heavy and it goes naturally down to the bottom. And so I want to get the lightweight stuff in first, primarily. Now we will do a half bucket of perlite. Here we go. Now what have we done here? 5 sand, 10 sawdust, 2 1/2 perlite. That's 17.5 gallons. 17.5 gallons equals 2 1/3 cubic feet. Why is that important? Because as we're putting it into our flats, that is a half cubic foot. 2 3/4 inches high, 18 inches by 18 inches. You check your calculations, that's half a cubic foot. So if I want to put the fertilizer in here in a big batch, instead of putting it into each individual flat, I need to know my cubic feet here, don't I? 2 1/3 cubic feet. We're supposed to, according to the book, put 1 1/2 ounces of pre-plant in a half cubic foot. That amounts to 7 ounces in this size batch. So I can go and put 7 ounces of pre-plant in here, stir it in thoroughly, and then I can put my soil in a bunch of boxes. I haven't talked about weekly feed. Why? Because I'm putting seeds in that flat. If I were transplanting seedlings, I would have both pre-plant and weekly feed in the soil. But when you're planting seeds, you only have the pre-plant. First thing you do is you put the container on the scale and turn it to on/tare. That will set the machine to 0 with the measuring cup on it. Then you take the measuring cup You get your pre-plant, set it on, and it says 7.6 ounces, 7.2 ounces, 7 ounces. So there we go. This is all we need for all of this much material. Spread it. Then I will mix it thoroughly, wetting it as I mix it, and then put it in the flat, level full.